perform right here on our Saturday session. All that and so much more is just ahead. But we begin with this morning's top story, an escalation in the immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. CBS News was the first to report the Justice Department has launched an investigation of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. The investigation centers on an alleged conspiracy by the two Democratic leaders to feed federal immigration agents to impede their work. It comes as protests have intensified after the fatal shooting last week of Renee Good by an ICE agent. Nearly 3,000 federal immigration agents have been dispatched to Minneapolis to arrest people who are in the United States illegally. Ian Lee is in Minneapolis. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Adriana. CBS News has learned this investigation focuses on whether Walz or Frey have impeded federal immigration action through public statements they've made.
Armed, masked, undertrained ICE agents are going door to door, ordering people to point out where their neighbors of color live.
In a statewide address Wednesday night, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz criticized the federal immigration crackdown in Minneapolis.
And if you see these ICE agents in your neighborhood, take out that phone and hit record.
On Friday, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey called the operation an invasion.
What we're seeing on our streets is unnecessary abuses of force.
Now both Democrats are under federal investigation. Multiple sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News the probe stems from statements Walz and Frey have made about the immigration action. In response, both men took to social media, with Walz posting, "Weaponizing the justice system against your opponent is an authoritarian tactic," and Frey writing, "I will not be intimidated." Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche appeared to hint at the investigation earlier this week with a post saying, "Walz and Frey, I'm focused on stopping you from your terrorism by whatever means necessary. This is not a threat, it's a promise."
Back up! Back up!
Protests have increasingly turned violent since the killing of Renee Good by an ICE agent earlier this month. Law enforcement breaking up crowds with tear gas and pepper balls, putting some Minnesota residents on edge.
People are refusing to come out the house.
The chairman of Minnesota's Republican Party, Alex Plekish, is criticizing Walz and Frey's handling of the situation.
In the past, where the governor or the mayor have said that they support law enforcement in the performance of their duties, but they don't seem to be enforcing law enforcement when the feds come in and do it. I think it's ironic and hypocritical.
But he's also concerned about reports American citizens have been rounded up by ICE.
I feel for the people that feel fearful that are legitimate citizens. That's not right. If they have fears like that and they're legitimate, they're here legitimately, they shouldn't be made to fear. But if they're feeling that, then we should do something about that.
Last night, a federal judge issued a ruling blocking immigration agents deployed in Minnesota from arresting or using tear gas, pepper spray, or other non-lethal munitions against peaceful protesters. Adriana?
All right, Ian Lee, thank you so much for that report from Minneapolis. Tomorrow on Face the Nation, Margaret